So apart from this editing of the dimension for its appearance or maybe how to place the dimension and everything you have seen, now it's a very important factor which we have to now cover up is related to how the distance which is calculated for the dimension, how it should be written. That means how that particular dimension, it should be written in the unit wise. Right now, if you check out, everything is written in millimeters. If I want to write this in meter, centimeter, feet, inches, how can I do that? So for that, you have to go all the way inside the pull down menu options, project preferences, and in the dimension group. Okay, so in this dimensions, you are actually going to decide the dimension style for the units. Remember, it's not for the appearance of the dimension, it is how the calculated distance of the dimension should be written. Okay, so there are already some predefined combinations like this DIN is there or plane meter, plane millimeter. Let's see how we can define our own. Okay, so there are several. If you want to use them, you can. Otherwise, you have a choice of defining your own also. So what I'm going to do is, there is no new button as such. You have to start modifying, and moment you modify, the store as will start working for you, and then you can either override or you can try to save with a new name. Say for example, this millimeter, instead of that, I just want to continue with say meter. So if I select the meter right now, I can see that moment I select this, there are several buttons over here, like select dimension type they say, and if you keep on clicking on every button, you will see the page which is below is getting modified as per that selected button. Okay, so this is the linear, then angular, or you have a radial, level. So all these are the different what you can see types of dimensions, and then how the dimension should be calculated and displayed for you on screen. That is getting decided over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue with the linear. Linear dimension unit was a meter. So if you click over here, you will get all the possibilities that different options are available and choose a one which is suitable for you. I'll continue with the meter again for a while, that's not an issue. But the decimal places they are saying 2, 3. So instead of that, I'm going to make them 2 decimals. Moment I do this, you will see that store as option button was activated and you have designed a new one known as a custom style. So later we'll complete this. So now we'll save this of course with some unique name. Now there is an option known as a hide zero holes and hide zero decimal. That is, if you have a distance of 0.23 meter, it will be written as a 0.23. And if this is supposed to be 2.00, it will be written as a 2 only. So that again depends on your choice. And then there's a witness line scalability. This is a global setting. That means this witness line, the gap between the object that is source to the beginning of the witness line, whether it is to be scaled or fixed. Scaled in the sense model, fixed is supposed to be mm. That is on as per paper, which you have already studied similar logic at the time of text. So I will continue with the scale. You can take this call as per your choice. Now, moment you have done the changes over here, maybe you can do the similar changes for the next pages also. For example, I'll just go for the angular, and here decimal degree, I'll keep this as it is, no changes. Then afterwards radial, again meter but 2 decimals. Then afterwards I'll go for level, again meter but again 2 decimals. Same way for the elevation, and then afterwards that there is something related to door and everything, but these are the 3D related things. So at present you don't have to worry, but still it's better if I just try to keep them uniform as per my need. So I'm just doing this. At the last there is a area calculation. That means when you see the area calculated by hatch or something, so that time how it should be written. So square meters, and again I'll put for the 2 decimals. Okay, rest of things now there is no need of changing. Now it's time to call this as a store as. And now I'll go and try to give a proper name for this. Maybe I want to identify this with my office name or my own name and something made for what reason. So the name has to be unique. I'll just try to give this as my name, and this is made for the working drawing, so WD and metric. Okay, so this is solely your convenience, but make sure the name, if it is a more unique, it will be easier for you to identify for what reason this dimension style, unit style was defined. Okay, so that proves or that helps you a lot. So just say okay for this. Later, I'll show you how to redefine this for some reason if you want to. But at present, you just decide a proper one. If you don't like for some reason, you can delete it. And of course, if you want to redefine this, then there is small logic you have to follow. What you have to do is actually there is no redefine button. So what you have to do is you have to go inside the rename. You have to put Control C for the copy. This name you have to copy on the clipboard. You have to say OK for this, and then whatever you change. For example, if you take this square meter area, and if you say that okay, I want to return to the four decimal places, you will see now the custom again arrived. So here, what is the technique to redefine one, the one which you have already designed? You just have to go and say store as and give the same name by Control V paste. You are going to give the same name which is already existing. So when you say OK for this, ArchiCAD will give you a prompt that the dimension standard with this name already exists. Do you want to override it? So I'll say override. Got that method? So this is how you can go for. So if I again go back to the 2 decimal, you will see that again custom was designed. Again I'll say store as. I'll just put the same name with the Control V. I'll say okay. You can type it also and say override. That's it. Now you say okay, and you will see that all your dimensions are now written in except this. But the reason is that this was something which you have added from your end. Now, how to switch between these styles? At the bottom of your screen, you can see there is one option known as, this may be not available depending on the width of your screen. If there is no sufficient space, you may not able to see this. But otherwise, you can change these things quickly from here, that pull down menu options and project preferences and dimension, and choose the one which has to be, you want to make it as a current. So you just choose anything. For example, I have chosen this US architecture, which is feet inches. If I say OK, you will see everything is written now in a feet inches. Okay. And if I want to return back to the earlier one, if in case you can see these buttons at the bottom of your, that in the status bar, if you see this, you can check out there is one option known as US architecture I can see, and here is nothing but dimension style button. So I'll just try to click on this, and from this list I'll try to fetch the one which I have designed. So my name and the WD metric. So that is working drawing metric option. So you can see how it appears now. Got the point? And from here also you can enter inside the same dialog. Only problem, that button, if in case it is not displayed, that is just because of the width of your available desktop and something like that. So make sure this is something a very important thing, how with the help of which you can control on the appearance of the dimension units for its display purpose.